Hi, my name is Aaron J. Marks. You can find out more about me at aaronjmarks.com. I'm a visionary purpose coach and a metaphysical leadership mentor. To my knowledge, I'm the only one in human history who's claimed either of those titles, and those that know me well tell me they couldn't imagine better ones for me. For as long as I can remember, I felt like my mind has worked just a little differently than most people's. At times it's been uncomfortable, but I've begun to see that it's actually incredibly important and that there's never been a better time to share the way that I think and see with the creative and entrepreneurial leaders out there who need to hear it. This is my podcast, A Higher Level. Everything we think, see, and do here happens on a higher level, and that makes all the difference. For some of you, these are among the most important and transformational conversations you will ever hear, and they will fill in something you may not have even known was missing, but something that is essential for your happiness and transformation. This podcast is all about creating a space for these conversations, a place to explore your deepest and most persistent questions about the human condition, a place to dream, play, and muse about the meaning of it all, a place people tell me only I can help them access, and a place of crucial importance for the human spirit and our future as the human race. On a higher level, everything is vast, rich, beautiful, and deeply optimistic. Join me there now, on a higher level. Hi, this is Aaron of aaronjmarks.com. I'm a visionary purpose coach and metaphysical leadership mentor. And welcome to another episode of A Higher Level. That's my official podcast. Good to be with you again. So we've been going through sort of a guided tour of metaphysics and my metaphysical model, which is 5 realms. From the bottom to the top, it's motion, life, action, strategy, and purpose. And here we are talking about the realm of life. So, disclaimer, I probably should have given in the first episode of this series. My training is in music. I have 2 degrees in music. And then I have a lot of continuing education in entrepreneurship, especially. So some things I don't have formal training in: philosophy. Well, I took 1 college class, introductory philosophy, but I don't really have any formal training in it. Psychology, I'm not a licensed therapist. Biology, I don't have formal training in that. So there's a lot of things that I talk about that I don't exactly have the credentials for. I'm just, I'm a curious person, and I learn as much as possible about the things that interest me. So I just thought that would be a good thing to throw in it now at this point. So we just talked about the realm of motion. It's kind of the foundational level. It's another way of talking about what exists, because everything is in motion, but it's much grander than that. It has deeper resonances. So, at some point, and this is another place that the biblical account, if you take it literally, and the scientific account agree, is that existence preceded life. And at a certain point, things or life was created, or something became alive. And this is just one of those mysterious things. I know many, many people are trying to figure out, what did this look like? How did this happen? And what even is it? But it's like, okay, we can go outside and we can be like, okay, so that is alive, that is not, that is alive, that is not. Now naturally humans are an example of life, and we're the only beings, as far as we know, that can have like complete facility in all these realms. That'll be clear as we kind of get to the top and we start to distinguish human perception and behavior from the other perception and behavior that we see. But it's like, we have this way of describing some of the stuff that exists. It's not merely in motion, like everything is, just by virtue of being in the universe and moving through space and moving at the subatomic level. It's like, no, we look at certain things and we say they're alive. And again, I don't know exactly where that boundary begins and ends. So these are not like hard boundaries, because they're gray areas here. So it's like viruses. There's some controversy over whether you can call a virus a form of life, I believe. Bacteria seems less controversial, and then when you get into algae and, diatoms and, like full plants, then it's like, okay, clearly this is alive, but it's like the boundary's not so clear. But at some point, part of existence took on this quality of growth and change and transformation that, execution of these chemical processes, through these internal systems that just doesn't happen in most of the rest of existence, right? One other thing about, reading this from the bottom to the top, motion, life, action, strategy, purpose, is that it applies to less and less of existence, the higher that we go. So it's like the vast majority of what exists is in motion but not alive, right? A very, very small part of that is alive. And then you're going to see that we're going to keep, kind of reducing as we go from there. A very small part of life is in action. A very small part of action, is aware of the strategy. And then an even smaller part of what's alive and what exists can contemplate this, this thing called purpose. So yes. So, life is magical. It's mysterious. It's, it's amazing, right? Whenever we see things born, it doesn't matter what species, it's amazing. It's like, it's almost mystical, right? We go into a forest. It's, it's different than climbing a mountain, right? It has a different kind of majesty, right? People say that they're in touch with something in different ways in a forest than they are when they're, rock climbing or, hiking up a cliff. And, mountains have life sometimes, but, there's something about a forest. There's something about putting plants in your house, right? They add something. There's sort of this cycle, this biological symbiosis, that we recognize, just watching something that, kind of has its own internal processes of growth, change, and development, right? It's like it's just, I don't know, it's mysterious and beautiful. And, we never tire of appreciating it. I think, it's like if you grow a garden, that's a mysterious, magical thing. If you have a pet, that's a mysterious, magical thing, to have another being. I remember in kindergarten, they had us plant bean seeds in the soil, and we were fascinated by that process of watching them grow. It's like, wow, look at this. Look at what this being is doing. Taking the raw materials of the nutrients from the soil and water, and then sunlight. Like, how amazing is that? That plants can, harness the energy of the sun to catalyze their internal growth process. Like, it's remarkable, right? And we'd watch the beans eventually spread up and grow, and I don't know, it's just nothing like it. It's so beautiful and amazing and inspiring. So that's the realm of life. I don't know what else to say about it, except it's about that internal process of growth and change and development, and we have an analog for that, as humans. Like, we go through that literally, of course, right? We're all, anyone who's listening to this is bigger than they were when they were born. So we go through that, automatically. But then there's another way that humans grow, right? And that's, that kind of seems to be what sets us apart. But I'm getting ahead of myself because we need to talk about action first. So that was the realm of life. Action is next. And this is Aaron of aaronjmarks.com. I'm a visionary purpose coach and metaphysical leadership mentor. This has been another episode of A Higher Level, which is my podcast. I will see you in the third realm, which is action. Thanks so much for listening to A Higher Level. I hope that got you seeing, thinking, and acting just a little differently, or maybe even a lot. When you act differently, you get different results. But we need to start with the vision and the thinking. How do you feel? Ready to go and make positive, inspiring changes in your life and work? If so, it means what we're doing here is working, and I would love for you to let me know if this is you. There's a bunch of ways for you to get in touch with me. You can go to my website, aaronjmarks.com, or look for Aaron J. Marks, Visionary Purpose Coach and Metaphysical Leadership Mentor on Facebook, or you can look for Aaron J. Marks on LinkedIn or Instagram, whatever is easiest for you. And if this is speaking to you, I might suggest that you think about becoming one of my leadership coaching clients. In our work together, we'll have conversations on this level, but tailored just to your life and aspirations. You really can't imagine what a difference this can make for your mindset, vision, and results. The first step after learning more about my approach is to book a free no-obligation discovery call, both of which you can do at aaronjmarks.com. If your intuition is nudging you, don't wait any longer. It is likely the next step along the marvelous journey of wherever you are here to go and whatever it is you are here to do. And I can't wait to meet you. Thanks again for listening, everyone. I'll see you on the next episode when we'll continue to see, think, and act on a higher level. I'll see you then. A Higher Level is the official podcast of Aaron J. Marks, visionary purpose coach and metaphysical leadership mentor. Learn more at www.aaronjmarks.com. A Higher Level is written, recorded, edited, and produced by Aaron J. Marks. Music is by Arie. I'll see you next time on A Higher Level.